All right, so majors in high school. So that's not a common thing, as we all know. It's actually Brooklyn Tech is the only high school to implement a major system. So majors are a set of selective courses given to students during their last 2 years at Tech in a specific topic or discipline. These courses are in addition to those they would normally take to receive a New York City diploma. And there are currently 19 majors at Tech. And you can find all this information in the Brooklyn Tech website. So there's aerospace engineering, applied mathematics, architectural engineering, biological sciences, chemical engineering, civil engineering, electrical engineering, environmental science, finance, industrial design, law and society, LIU PharmD, LIU Advanced Health Professions, mechatronics and robotics, media communications, social science research, and software engineering. All right, so these majors are chosen during a student's sophomore year. And some majors include unique classes while others are just tracks, which means certain courses a student needs to take by the time they graduate. You get to experience how having a major is like before going to college. So most colleges request your intended major during the application process. So you'll be applying to college in your senior year, and in the application, they'll ask you for intended major. So that's just a major that you are thinking about and most likely going to enroll in when you actually start attending college. So it's a good idea to know what you want to do graduating high school. And as you go to your freshman year, um, it's just good to know the stuff so you get early exposure. However, know that your major isn't written in stone. As of now, major selection documents have not been updated for this year, but I did contact the Assistant Principal of Pupil Services, Mr. Ventura, and was told that there are no significant changes, so you'll most likely not have to worry about any majors being removed. Okay, so the selection process. So I'm just going to read off the slide and explain, just give a brief explanation of how it works. Okay, so all sophomores will attend a series of presentations regarding course sequence for each major. The online selection process lasts a few days and requires each student to rank each major in preference order online. Applicants are then sorted electronically by preference and their power index in each major and placed accordingly. So we'll explain the power index in the next slide, so don't worry about that. Once a major is full, all students are put into their next major choice, where the process starts again. A student having a higher power index for a second major choice will bump the lowest ranking student from their choice. The bumping process guarantees that all students receive their highest ranking preferences based on merit. And once a student, uh, sorry, once a student has been placed, they are notified about their placement. So there will be an online form sent out. I'm not sure if it's sent out yet, but it should be sent out soon. That the students must put their majors in order of the majors they want the most to the majors they want the least. So students are given roughly about a week or two to fill out the form until it closes. If the student does not fill it out, then obviously the student will be placed into a random major that has room. Okay, so your power index score is the cumulative average of the subjects needed for that major, and it is an evaluation of your academic candidacy. Students are ranked based on this score and they are selected in order until the major reaches maximum capacity. The higher students' power index, the better their chance of earning a seat in that major. So this number is usually around 300 or 400 maximum. It's used to rank each student. It's important because it allows Tech to rank students based on their proficiency in courses relevant to their particular major they're interested in. So, for example, the software engineering major takes the overall average of the student, adds their math average, digital electronics average, and English average to it to get the power index of the student. This makes the selection very grade oriented. However, the good thing about major selections at Brooklyn Tech is that is the fact that 80% of students get into their major of their first choice, and 92% get into their top three. This provides a reason as to why it is a good thing to have confidence in your choices and not make selections solely on whether you think you have a good chance or not. Rather, make choices based on what major you truly want to be in. Lastly, it is important to note that although you got into a specific major, this doesn't reflect what career path you decide to take. Majors are used to just show a student's interest in a specific subject and give insight into a career that may be worth pursuing. So some stats are like, so for the class of 2018, 89.2% of the 1,354 10th grade students selected a major and were placed into their first choice. Nearly 98.4 were placed in one of the top three choices. So you can see that the chances of getting in are very high into your first choice, despite the high population of students at Tech. Okay, so a special set of majors would be the LIU majors. So I'm just going to go, I'm just gonna list out the specific classes for both LIU PharmD and LIU Advanced Health Professions. And then we have a speaker, Mr. E, that will be presenting more about it, providing more information about PharmD and LIU majors on the next slide. So for LIU PharmD, the power index goes as follows. It's your major plus an English class plus a social studies class plus two science classes and no plus science class, and that's weighted 2 times, and your math class, which is weighted 2 times as well. So in your junior year, you'll be taking AP English, Language and Composition, and AP Chem, and Pre-Calc or Algebra 2, or any other higher level mathematics. In your senior year, you'll be taking Pre-Calc or Calc if you already, or Calc AB or BC if you've already taken Pre-Calc, AP Macro, Organic Chemistry, Pharmacy Seminar, which is double period, and AP Bio, which is also double period. And for LIU Advanced Health Professions, it leads to two paths in the health professions major at LIU. So the Doctor of Physical Therapy and Physician Assistant. So this major is a special series of courses that, when completed, will be recognized by the admissions offices at LIU as having had completed the equivalent of 2 semesters of the freshman year of the health professions major at LIU. While you're not required to attend LIU after graduating from Tech, LIU guarantees course credit for the AP courses taken in the Tech major with scores of 4 and above. That might have changed. We'll go more into that later. So the specific classes for LIU Advanced Health is AP Bio and AP English in your junior year, and AP Chem, AP Macro, and AP Psych in your senior year. So you can see that if psychology is something that interests you and you are debating between LIU majors, you might want to consider LIU Advanced Health, because senior year PharmD schedule can get very crowded sometimes, and you might not be able to fit AP Psych unless you take away lunch. But that depends on what classes you're taking. You might have already taken all your math classes, so you might have a free period for that, and you can fit in other classes. So it's all based on your personal schedule, and not everyone has the same schedule, even if it's the same major. Okay, so as I promised, Mr. E is here to talk about PharmD, LIU majors, and Mr. E, can you present yourself, and the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you very much. My name is Mr. excuse me, my name is Mr. Evangelist. I'm the assistant principal of physical sciences. I cover the chemistry and physics departments, and I run the majors of chemistry, physics, and pharmacy. So I like what I've heard so far. You will notice that the PharmD major, the power indexes that you saw for other majors were 300, 400. but pharmacy is so diverse that actually the power index is out of 700. Okay, that's a lot to think about. So we're taking your overall average, your skills in social studies, English, math, and science, with the emphasis on math and science. That tells you something, because if you saw the list of courses, actually, could you just backtrack, Brian, for me? When you take a look at the courses, go back one slide. There it is. When you look at the courses, that is a monster list. Okay, so just understand if pharmacy, it's a lot of work. But here we have Brian smiling, and Maria, she looks happy. So, okay, so Brian made it through the hard part. We're into the pharmacy part right now. It's going to get a lot easier. But just so you understand what you're getting into, okay, I don't want to say what you're getting into. That makes it sound negative, but it's not for the lighthearted. That's for sure. Okay, it's not for the lighthearted. All right, if you can advance me, sir. Okay. All right. Now there's no further slides I have to go through, correct? It's just this slide.
Yeah.
All right. There's no information. Okay, that's fine. Because if you had slides, I'd just go through them. So basically, what we have here is LIU has a 6-year pharmacy program. Okay, but if you complete the pharmacy major at Brooklyn Tech, and you can get 4s, and in some cases, some 3s, they'll allow a few 3s, but if you can get 4s or better on your AP courses while at Tech, in our major, you've pretty much completed the first year of their pharmacy program. Okay, so what we've had students do in the past is they've bypassed, from their work at Brooklyn Tech, they've bypassed the first year of pharmacy school, and they started out at LIU in their second year. Now, can Brooklyn Tech cover everything they need? The answer is no. So the students did have a little bit of a heavier schedule when they started at the pharmacy P2 year at LIU, but so far they're handling it. Okay, we've had students go to summer school, and we actually had, because it was out of sequence, one student actually took, because at one time AP biology was not mandated for the first group of kids. So we had one of our students go to LIU, take AP Bio 2 over the summer without taking Bio 1. And he got an A. He was the only person to get an A in the summer class. And the kid came from our school. And then in this fall, they let him take Bio 1. He got his other A. So LIU is very flexible with our students. The admissions process is very, very straightforward. And what happens is, I invite the admissions officer from LIU into my office. I set her up with an internet connection and her computer, and the kids leave my classroom 2 at a time, and they do on-the-spot admission. So the kids come with their transcript and SAT scores, and they come back accepted to LIU, and they come back to class in about 10 minutes, and they already have their acceptance into LIU. That's how quick we do things. Now, is LIU the only college they've gone to for pharmacy? And the answer is, of course not. We don't have a partnership with St. John's, but about half the kids who do choose a pharmacy program, okay, do choose St. John's as well. Okay, even though we don't have the guaranteed admissions or the pipeline, there are kids who choose St. John's as well. And this is the third set of, from the first 2 sets of students, 2 students chose the pharmacy program at Buffalo. A number of students have used the pharmacy major to catapult pre-med, and a lot of them like to go pre-med at Stony Brook. Okay, I don't know what Stony Brook is called, Brooklyn Tech University. For a good reason. It's far enough to be away from New York, but it's easy enough to get back on the LIRR when you need your laundry done in a weekend. And we also had one student use the pharmacy program to go into nursing at LIU, but that was before the health professions came out. So if you were looking at nursing, I would more suggest the health professions, physical therapy, the health professions. but more medicine and pharmacy, I would choose the pharmacy major. Okay, so that's pretty much the, okay, so let's see here. Let me just see, did I miss a question there? So does that mean like 10 periods a day? Well, it depends. So I strongly suggest that if you go into the pharmacy major and you're going to go into the LIU pipeline, I strongly suggest the double period calculus BC. But some kids, correct me if I'm wrong, AB is single, correct? Yeah, AB should be single, BC is the double. So some kids select the AB course, and I also have students still in pre-calculus. That's fine. I have kids who aren't taking a math. That's fine. That's fine. They finished their math requirement. But we do, actually, do I have any this year without a math? I don't think it's this year. The first year I had kids without a math, I believe, because the program was just being set up. So I apologize. So, but I'd have to look over everyone's transcripts. I haven't done that in a little while. But anyway, so yeah, so it does get a little bit heavy. You know, is there room for an elective? Again, it depends on where you are. If you finished your language requirement as a sophomore, where some kids finish their language requirement as a junior. So everyone's on a little bit of a different path there. So yeah, so the senior year, I guess, could be a little bit heavy, but the junior year is what I think would be the harder part there is the AP Chem. However, I have the right man for the job. And I think Maria and Brian and Justin, okay, I think you, okay, Lauren, do you have a pharmacy major? Are you a junior?
I'm a freshman.
Okay, I'm sorry, you're a freshman. Okay, I'm sorry. All right, so, okay, so, but I'm just saying, so you guys would agree Mr. Lee gets you through the AP Chem portion of it?
Yeah.
Getting some thumbs up there. So Mr. Lee's there for a reason, but I know from organic chemistry, when I asked the kids, did Mr. Lee touch on this and did he touch on that? And the kids say, yep, we learned that already. So that's good there. So he sets a great foundation for you. But then when you get to the senior year, the organic chemistry course, we basically start in September with that. And I finish at the end of February, middle of March or so. That's where we are right now. And then when I start the pharmacy, the class then turns into pharmacy seminar. One of the things you should know, if you go to LIU, LIU will give you credit, not credit on the transcript, but a pass, a grade of pass for the pharmacy seminar course over there. So any of our students who go to LIU, they don't have to take pharmacy seminar again because LIU knows that I have done than enough time with the students in the pharmacy seminar. So pharmacy seminar in LIU would be a total of about 15 hours. And we have 15 hours of class in 2 weeks. So okay. But the other thing about pharmacy seminar is I'm going to teach you how to take the exam to be a pharmacy technician. Pharmacy technicians in New York State do not currently need to do an exam or pass an exam, but pharmacy technicians in other states need to pass an exam. New York State is looking to implement an exam to become a pharmacy technician. So I'm teaching the kids about the pharmacy technician exam. I'm teaching them to be pharmacy technicians. And I've already heard from 7 different graduates that they've worked in a pharmacy as a pharmacy technician. Okay, so they're getting paid 18 something an hour. They go over, the prescription comes in, they pull the right bottle off the shelf, they count out the right number of pills, and they leave it there for the pharmacist to complete the order. Okay, and they take care of clerical work and things like that. So pharmacy seminar, absolutely positively wonderful background for the subject area. Okay, the later years of pharmaceutical study will require biology. The role of the pharmacist isn't just to fill prescriptions at this point. It's almost now that the pharmacist takes on a role almost substituting for the doctor or almost working with doctors. It used to be the doctor said this and the pharmacist did that. It's not like that anymore. So the pharmacist has to act like a doctor at times, which is why when you graduate from pharmacy school, you actually have the 3 green stripes, and the cap and gown has the beret, just like all the other med school students and PhD students, because you are a doctor. Your new title is doctor. So you'll need the biology. So that's what I'm really getting at, is you need the biology background. So the AP Bio, back in the day, it used to be, 2 years ago, it was optional, but it's not optional anymore. And macroeconomics, how do you guys like macro? Any rough things there? I don't hear anybody saying anything negative about macro, AP macro. No, I guess it can't be that bad an experience, is it?
It's not that bad, and compared to the other AP courses we have, I think the workload is like relatively light. It's pretty simple.
Okay. Okay, yeah, that's what I heard. No student has ever come back to me and complained that AP macro is, destroying their senior year. I've never heard anything like that. So that's basically the major in a nutshell, course-wise. Now, let's talk about the things that aren't in writing, okay? So when I need things, like if we were in school, let's talk about the normal school setting, okay? Obviously, we're in the 1 year here where things are off, okay? I get it. But in the past, when we were in school, I pick up the phone, I call the people at LIU. I says, I'm gonna do an experiment on this, that, and the other thing. And in 3 weeks, all these supplies were shipped right to Brooklyn Tech. And I'm talking like quality medical supplies, okay? That's what a partnership does for us. In the past, we do it virtually now, but we have presenters come from LIU. They come into the building and they talk about over-the-counter medications, the COVID vaccine, drugs, drug abuse, and so on and so forth. So we've had a ton of guest speakers over this year. I still have more. Former students of mine who are now my doctor, or was my doctor until he moved. One of my former students is my dentist, okay? They come back, or they were coming back as guest speakers before they started their fellowships and their residency. When they had a little bit more time, they were coming back, okay? And so I bring in the guest speakers. Now, there are a couple of times during the year where we would normally, under normal conditions, we would have a trip to LIU. They first invited us for lunch, okay? They took over this whole pizzeria. It was down, I forgot what it was, on the DeKalb Market. So we took over the whole pizzeria, and that was a good start. And then we went to a pharmacy lab, and they were showing us how to make IV preparations. They were showing us how the workings of the pharmacy. They actually had a small pharmacy in their building. Not that they were selling things, but it was a small pharmacy where you can see how it's set up. You could see how the operation works. So, and we were invited right in. And when we were finished with that, we went into the other lab, and the students were making calamine lotion. And I just, when was the last time you walked into a pharmacy lab? We got a tour of the labs, and we were making calamine lotion. Everything was pink, but my hands left soft, smooth, and silky by the end of the day. That I can guarantee you. So those are the things that don't appear on the Brooklyn Tech website about the major. And then once you leave Tech, and if you go into LIU, I'm going to continue to track your progress. Okay, we want to make sure that we didn't set you up for disaster, or and it will put you out of your comfort zone into something you can't. So I will tell you this: that one student who went to LIU in the pharmacy program did leave it. Okay, it's not for everybody. You taste it. If you don't like it, okay, you don't have to eat anymore. Okay, so he went to another school. That's perfectly fine. But the other kids that I still keep in touch with, they're rocking it. Okay, so so what were the other things? Maybe I said a white coat ceremony. When you leave Brooklyn Tech, if you go into the LIU pipeline, if you choose, we do have a white coat ceremony for you as a pharmacist in the making. Okay, it's the real white coat with your name on it. Okay, But a few weeks ago, my first group of kids, I saw them have their official white coat ceremony at LIU virtually. And that was a moment. That's a moment for a parent, for a student, for a college, for formative. That was a moment. Yeah, it was online, whatever. But some kids were live. But to see my students, my forms get their white coats put on them by the university. I mean, now it's real. Okay, now they're really going into the professional phase. It's not talk anymore. Now it's real. So that's the nice thing there. Those other two events that they have. But the people at LIU have told us that there's just something about the tech student coming out of the pharmacy major. It's just that they have a different perspective of what it is. And I think it's what we cover in pharmacy seminar. There's no blindsiding people. I think we go into the profession pretty deep so that when it comes time, what is it, May 1st for college decision? Am I right? You have to make your final choices usually like the beginning of May. So by the time May 1st comes around, I think I've had enough conversation and I've done enough with the students so that they'll know if this is truly what they want to do. Okay, so that's one of the other things that we aim to do there is just to help you make informed decisions. But in the end, no matter what I do with chemistry major, physics major, the whole goal of Brooklyn Tech is really to bring you experiences you're not going to get anywhere else. Okay, and how do we know that this program is working? You ready for this? And you're going to love this one. A high school near the pharmacy program in the SUNY Buffalo, or Buffalo, their college, that pharmacy college in Buffalo, reached out to a high school and they're imitating, and they used us as a model in building a pipeline between that local high school and the pharmacy college in Buffalo. Okay, so how do we know it's working? Because people are imitating us. Okay, so imitation is flattering. I'll take it. So there you go. Thank you. I got the little cheers sign going up on Brian's screen, but that's how we know it's working. And the kids who've been there, like I said, it's just when I talk to them, and I'll be honest with you, two of them, we went out for dinner last August. We went out to steakhouse and we celebrated restaurants opening up again and finally getting to see each other. But they're doing well. They're thriving, and they're really just off the record, kicking rear end. Okay, I know we're being recorded. I gotta be careful. But really, they're enjoying the experience. Okay, for sure. So can I open it up to questions? Or Brian, did you have more? Did you have more, Brian, or do you want me to take questions from anyone? Because I have no problem with that also.
That was very thorough. Thank you.
Thank you.
If there's any questions, you can ask right now, and we can see them in the chat.
Yeah, throw them in the chat. I have the chat open. If not, we're gonna have to make popcorn. So ask questions because I'm getting fat on the popcorn. No, you don't have to be shy. All right. Let's see. It may take people a few seconds to type them in. I do that in class too. I'm like, come on, guys, answer the damn question, and you're typing. I'm not patient enough with you. Okay. So, all right. Well, while you're doing that, no, okay. So I just want to tell you just some things in general. Also, I've learned over the years when choosing a major. If I could just give you some general advice, please. Okay. Just make sure, like Brian said, over 98% of the kids get their first 3 choices. So make sure you have 4 choices you can live with. Okay. Because that covers the 98%. Okay. So make sure you always have 4 choices you can live with. Please do me a favor. When you choose a major, sit down, look at 4 of them, and do a side-by-side comparison of them. Okay, make sure you look at the pros and cons of every one of them. Okay, who should choose a major, you or your parents? This one you can answer. Who should be doing the choosing? You can put it in the chat, don't worry. Okay, now the choice is yours, okay? You kids, Oh, there's that new message. There they go. Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you guys make sure that you're choosing your major. I know mommies and daddies see things like, oh, this is a golden opportunity. And when I was a little boy, when I was a little girl, I wish I would have had it. But well, you can keep wishing, okay? Or mom, dad, I love you. Go back to college and finish your medical degree. Leave me alone. Okay, so but definitely thank you, Brian. Yeah, absolutely. Sit down and look at things and always compare four. That's what I've learned over the years. The magic number is four, because once you get to your fifth choice, things are pretty much all closed up. So, but if you could put down four choices that you can live with, so for example, so maybe pharmacy might be your first choice. Let's say, for example, but you like organic chemistry, so maybe chem will be second. But maybe I like the biology part. So maybe advanced health third. It's still a health professions area. So you've already got three choices similar, but they have these little things that are different. Okay. And then maybe just for fun, just because you want to go out and stargazing with me in the physics major, you'll put physics fourth, just so you can get to use the telescopes at Brooklyn Tech with me. Okay. So believe it or not, yes, I always kid around with the pharmacy majors that I'm cheating on them behind their back, and then I'm seeing the physics majors at stargazing night at the Astronomers Association meetings. Okay, so and what the pharmacy kids don't know is that I'm cheating on them again, that I'm seeing the chem major behind their back for instrumental analysis every now and again. So, oh, thank you. Yeah, Brian, true. When the weather is clear, I take pictures and I bring my pictures to class. So that is true. So thank you, Brian. I appreciate that. So like I said, make sure you can have the things you can live with. Make sure you have four things that you can compare and contrast. Don't forget, like you said, Brian, it was what, 90% of the kids get their first choice? Yeah, I think
Yeah, it was about 89.2. Yeah.
Okay, so if you really want a major, put it first. Okay, put it first. But I just want to warn you ahead of time. The major that does almost all of the rejecting is software engineering. It's very competitive. Okay, so just watch out for the software engineering. I'm not saying don't pick it. What I am saying, and this is being recorded, I think the one major that has the most rejections first round is software engineering. Okay, so just that's the only. But all of the other majors, they take 99 something or 90 something percent of their first rounders. Okay, so just watch out for that. Make your choices. Okay, it's something when you look at a major and the courses. How do you feel? What's the homework going to look like? What are the kids in school saying about it? Okay, that's your best resource. Okay. I don't know. RateMyTeacher.com. Does that still exist? I don't even look at that website anymore. Okay, because people said some nasty things to me on there. So instead of saying it to my face in school, you post it online. Okay, so all right, but anyway, that's a whole other thing. But yeah, so kids do that too. They look on those websites, whatever it says there. But honestly, you guys go to the school every day and you hear what's happening. So you know what? So I trust you to make the most informed decision. So okay. All right, there's no more questions for me? Nothing or no questions? No. I've finished my part. If anybody has any questions. No.
All right, if there's okay, I'll go ahead. Sorry.
No, that's all I have. Once I get talking, I don't stop. So yeah. So. Oh yeah, I'm done.
Okay, so I just wanna if it's okay, I put your email up if anyone wants to
Yeah,
contact
sure.
you with questions.
Sure, absolutely. I probably answer over 100 emails a day, so go ahead, just email me. 102 won't kill me, I promise you.
Okay, and if there's no more questions left, I would like to just take a moment to thank Mr. E. He's one of the most enthusiastic teachers, most energetic, that can make a class engaging even through a screen. Like as we mentioned in the beginning of the major night, making Stanley popcorn, we saw 3 deer in the background, which
It's true. This is not a fake background, by the way. This is my house upstate.
Yeah,
Okay,
and it was beautiful.
it's yeah. My next neighbor from here, I don't know, somewhere out there in the trees, out there. So thank you, I appreciate it. Thank you. This is really, this is not a fake background. So, and then everywhere you go up here, it's yeah. I'm wearing shoes in the house, but when you go outside, if you don't have boots, you're never getting around. That's over. So, thank you, Brian. I appreciate that.
All right, thank you. Thank you for speaking. It was very thorough. Okay, so if there's no more questions, if you have a question, you can email him if you just want to talk to him privately, ask him any questions. But we're also going to move on to the rest of the majors. So we also have the CTE majors, and Justin will be helping me present this.
All right, Brian, I apologize. On that note, since you're going to go on to other ones, I'm just going to mosey on to my 4 o'clock meeting at a restaurant and a bar. Okay. So,
Okay, no problem. Enjoy your Friday. Happy Friday.
happy Friday, everyone.
Thanks,
Have
Mr.
a
E.
great weekend. Okay. Do your
Bye.
Thank
Thank
homework.
you.
Thank
All right. You
you.
take care now. All right. Bye.
Yeah, so besides the LIU majors, we have another special group of majors categorized as CTE majors, or short for career and technical education. And in brief, they're just a series of majors that can grant students a CTE endorsed diploma upon graduation. And they're given to students enrolled in the New York State approved programs of study who complete the following requirements. So you must have 44 credits, including the CTE career electives, pass 5 regents, pass a 3-part technical assessment, work-based learning experiences in career awareness, exploration, and career development, and a work skills profile in which Ms. Chang will help you with once you get out of it. And CTE majors, they're mostly for the engineering majors, including aerospace, architectural, civil, and electrical, and software. And then other more unique majors like industrial, mech, and robotics, and media communications.
Okay, so one of the unique things about CTE, having a CTE endorsement on your diploma, is that you can actually work at some places right after you graduate tech. So having that CTE behind your name as early as high school, just getting out of high school is a really special thing to have, and not a lot of people have this opportunity. So it's if you're considering engineering, this will be great to have behind your name. Okay, so let's talk about some of the resources that is available to students. So we have the major page. I'm pretty sure everyone knows the major page already. It will provide you an overview of all majors. You can also find selection documents there, like the PDF that includes all the courses that each major is required to take. For example, if you want to go to LIU Advanced Health Profession section, you can find a PDF provided by LIU, which states the AP exam grades that they require, and also the BTH course equivalent to the LIU Health Professions major course credit. There's also a video. We will not be showing the video, but if you want to watch it in your spare time, then it would be great. It's a work-based learning video, and it's basically presented by Miss Chang, and she takes like 10 minutes to go over how work-based learning works for the CTE majors, and it's very informative. So if you're considering a CTE major, engineering, you should definitely watch it. And last but not least, ask. So when I was choosing my major, I actually did not know who to ask, and I realized that asking was really important because it actually gave me information that you cannot find online, and it'll give you personal anecdotes of people who've actually been to the major. So I asked an alumni who was who's also a pharmacist is who went to LIU PharmD at Tech. So this is what he said. 2011 alumni here, but also happened to be a pharmacist with the actual PharmD degree thingy behind my name. My take here is you will surely get tons of work, but it's to be expected since the program is geared towards students who are preparing to actually enter the pharmacy program at LIU. They will consider the coursework you do in high school, and I believe accelerate you into the actual pharmacy program at LIU. So you are going to be rammed with actual college level coursework. But if you are actually really passionate about going to LIU for pharmacy, this is a really good major for that. Otherwise, it will just be jam-packed with science courses, which may still benefit you in the future, preparing you for college. So this actually reassured me because when I looked at the pharmacy um, list of courses, I'm not gonna lie, it actually was intimidating, and I'm pretty sure to a bunch of you too. It's a lot when you look at it. Um, but he assured me that it will definitely leave me prepared for college. If I'm not going to LIU, that's fine. I can have that knowledge with me. I can even convert those AP course credits to college credits if they accept it. And yeah, so just ask. There's a lot of people to ask. Um, this was through Reddit, so you can ask anyone. I recommend faculty, teachers, and your fellow upperclassmen. Don't be afraid to reach out to them because they were once there too. Okay, so I think this is a good slide to end off on. If there's any questions, I'll give a moment, like a minute, for anyone to put into the chat. So don't be afraid to ask.
Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
You can also unmute yourself and talk if you'd like.
Yes, please.
So there are a lot of upperclassmen here, so if you guys have any questions, it would be like perfect time to storm us with them.
Yes, and if any upperclassmen want to also share their reasons why they chose their major, go ahead. Please, that can also be advertising for your own major, which is a good thing. If you want more people in your major, you want to see it flourish.
Well, I think all of us are literally in the PharmD major, the presenters or the main ones here, so we could advertise for PharmD. So I think the reason why I chose PharmD was because I wanted to have like that sort of pre-med experience in high school. And even though pharmacy isn't necessarily my first choice, like I don't see myself going into that field, I do think that the courses that are offered in this major would help me prepare for the college classes that I'll have to take regardless. Um, and also the tight-knit community that we make here. PharmD is specifically for PharmD, it's a relatively small major, so you get to like bond and really create those solid friendships within your classes, but also with your teachers. Like you saw, Mr. Evangelos is a pretty enthusiastic teacher, and he's also great at creating that sort of environment. And so is Mr. Lee, who's like the leading AP Chem teacher for that major. So yeah, I definitely think that that's like an asset of the major, and it makes the experience better. And I think Ethan was with me during this process when we were choosing together, so he could offer insight too.
Okay, I think thank you for that, Maria. I think Yusuf asked how's LIU PharmD working with remote learning? So I guess since we have juniors here in PharmD and we also have seniors, I think if it's okay, I'll go first. I'll explain my schedule. So since it's remote learning, it's not like usual. So every day I have a full schedule. So here's how it goes, okay? So we have I have a double period of organic chemistry. So I think double period is one period in remote learning. So I have one period of organic chemistry. I have a film after that. That's my elective. You can choose a bunch of different electives for English. So you can choose AP literature. There's sci-fi, but I chose film. After that, I have AP Calc, and then I have AP Bio. So that's a full day, and I don't have any free periods, but that's fine because they're manageable. And in organic chem, Mr. E actually helps review biology class with us, AP Bio. So we're not always doing organic chem with him, so that's great. And then so every other day I'll have macro instead of film. So one day I'll have film, and then the next day I'll have macro, and then it keeps on alternating. So yeah, that's basically my schedule. So a full day every day, and it's great. I'm not complaining. And if any juniors want to explain how their schedule with PharmD works, that'd be great.
Ethan, you can take this one first.
So I finished my language last year because I finished middle school with Spanish 1. This year my schedule is pretty free. I have a 2 to 4 every day. So I will have AP Chem last, so fourth period, and then for second period and third, I have alternating every other day. One day I have physics and A push, and then another day I have AP English Lang and then pre-calc. And I think Maria also has a similar schedule, but I think she still has language.
Yeah, so I unfortunately didn't finish my language credits, and I plan on taking 4 years of language. But in terms of like what Ethan said with the AP chemistry part, I have a full schedule that goes 1 to 4 because I do have another AP science elective, and that sort of takes up my entire time and it alternates every day. But in terms of the way remote learning works, any AP subject that would normally be a double period, such as AP Chem, AP Bio, AP Calc BC, AP Physics, all those, it can go on. All those classes are taken rather than every other day. They're taken every single day. So, like we said, like we have AP Chemistry every single day, just like the seniors have Orgo Chem every day. But I think that the reason why PharmD might seem intimidating is because like a lot of us have filled schedules. But honestly, I think at the end of the day, it really does help you grow as a student, also as a person, and you're exposed to more information. So regardless, it might be a grueling academic schedule, and it is definitely very hard. It's worth it in the end. And also one thing, so yesterday there was the PharmD major night presentation that was only available for sophomores. But one thing that we really highlighted is that, sorry if you heard the background music, or sound. But one thing that we highlighted was that AP Chem is a really demanding subject. It requires a lot of motivation. So if you just think that you want to take AP Chem because it sounds nice or because it looks good or something like that, it's definitely a commitment. So that should be a factor. And it's also not a subject that's easy. It's fast paced and it's difficult and it's packed. And oftentimes you have to review on your by yourself to understand it because it does move along really fast and no one really waits for you to catch up on that material. So, taking all of these things into consideration is really important when you're applying for any science major, given the fact that they are really demanding. But yeah, that's my schedule, I guess. I think we have some questions here that we didn't really answer. And I saw Brittany's and that kind of caught my attention. So she said, would you recommend choosing a major you've always wanted or something you recently started considering, even though it might be more challenging? So I think I'm not sure which situation, like which majors you're talking about specifically or your own goals, but I feel like you should be choosing the one that you're leaning towards right now because that's the one that you are passionate about and putting yourself in a situation where you're going to be taking classes that truly don't interest you, you're only putting yourself in a disadvantage because you're going to be managing standardized exams in junior year specifically, along with your extracurriculars and other things that you might be involved with. And it just adds on to stress. So you definitely don't want to be in a class that you are dreading to go to every day. So yeah, but I would say that any science major at Tech, if that's what you're talking about, like any challenging major at Tech, a lot of them are the science and engineering majors and they're all really good. So you won't make a mistake in choosing any of them.
Okay, I want to answer, someone asked, does everyone who takes Farm D get Mr. Evangelist? Yes. So Mr. E combines, I think I put in chat, combines the whole Farm D major into one class for organic chem. But this is only because Farm D has never been that large. It's usually around 45 students. This year, I think it's about 47. 47. And to fit in one class, it's manageable. But I'm pretty sure this year, since advertising has actually been better than when I actually chose my major. When I chose my major, I'm gonna be honest, the PharmD major was not that outspoken, so maybe they didn't get the word out. But this year, I'm pretty sure the PharmD major will be a lot larger. So I don't really know what Mr. E would do about the organic chemistry class for the future students. But the reason why he combines it into one class instead of two is because when he invites LIU speakers in to explain the application process um, from the LIU program at Tech to the pharmacy program at LIU, he wants everyone to be in one class. So it's easier for the speakers. So they only have to come in one time instead of coming in, maybe first period and then waiting the whole day until last period to present what they have to students. So yeah, it's for convenience, but also it's to know all your peers too. Because once you know your peers, you can help each other, and you might even be going to the same college too. And it's really good to know who has the same interests as you, and who can help you out in case you need it. All right, Mariah, is there anything else that needs to be said?
I don't think so. I think ultimately you should choose the major that you're interested in. Obviously, we're talking about PharmD just because a lot of us are in PharmD, but anything that strikes your interest should definitely be the path that you take at Tech. And also remember that this is only 2 years. Obviously, you're not committing your entire life to this major. You might as well go into college and major in something completely different. And that's totally fine. But the main thing that you get in tech is that exposure and that experience to all of these subjects. And ultimately, that could really help you decipher what you want to do when you grow up or, you know, down the line either. So, yeah, just choose what you like and make sure it's something that you chose and not your friends or your parents or any outside person.
Yeah, so other than that, I wish all of you the best of luck. Sophomores, if any freshmen are here, uh, I wish you all the best of luck getting your first choice, which I'm pretty sure definitely you get your first choice. But make sure to, as Mr. E said, put at least four choices, and yeah, just research and ask questions. And yes, thank you for coming.